Thank you and welcome to the Public Infrastructure meeting for September the 17th. I apologize for being late. I'm the chair, Councilman Sylvia Ortiz. I represent District 3, and if my colleague would introduce himself.
Thank you, Chair. Neil Dobler, District 7.
Okay. Councilman Banks is not feeling well today, so I don't think he's going to even get online. Okay, so I'll call the meeting to order and approval of the August 22nd meetings.
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. It's 2-0. And 3, the action item.
Item 3A is my item. And staff are pulling up the plan sheet that shows what we're proposing. On California Avenue, we currently have an issue with traffic flowing into the Club Car Wash, which is at approximately 25th Street, where the traffic is backing up in the street. We've had a significant number of accidents. So we have approached the owners of both the Dollar General Store as well as Club Car Wash and have proposed a solution which would require the removal of the existing drive approach, which is shared between the two. Do you have like a pointer? Yes. So the existing one is the blue line, right? Yes, right there. That's the existing drive approach. And I think if I, let me just. So the existing drive approach is right here. And what happens is as the traffic is coming down, it is blocking the southbound inside lane as well as the outside northbound lane. And the traffic enters into this approach, and this is where it's queuing inside for the car wash. And then what happens is cars also queue on the frontage road as well as in the street. So what we are proposing is to remove this drive approach, and what we will do is install a new drive approach up here, which will allow for the traffic to come in, and then they can queue on this frontage road. So this will add a tremendous amount of additional storage. We will then also block off access south of the Club Car Wash, and then install a new drive approach down at the south end of the lot where the Family Dollar General is. So this will also improve traffic safety because you don't have people queuing up on this drive approach as well. So in the plat, this is California Avenue, and this section is access restricted. And so to be able to remove the access restriction, we need the resolution that is placed in front of you. And that will close off the access at the existing location, and it will create new access restrictions at the north and south ends to allow for the new approaches into Club Car Wash and the Family Dollar General Store. So I will gladly stand for any questions, but our request would be to approve and recommend approval to the full council to establish the new access controls. We do have a companion case that is going on right now for the condemnation because the owners of the property, the Family Dollar General Store, never responded back to our acquisition agent, despite many, many requests for them to move forward and sign the access restriction documents. And Club Car Wash insisted on a payment of $10,000 when we're going to spend $130,000 to do it, and we're going to be giving them a new drive approach that we're going to be constructing, so we didn't think the compensation was fair. So that's a separate matter. That condemnation case has been filed in Shawnee County District Court. The action, the request from you is the approval of the resolution establishing the new access control and and removing the 2 access controls at the locations where the new approaches are going to go, and I will gladly stand for any questions.
Okay, I believe Dollar General and Dollar Tree are the same owners, they just have 2 different stores, and that's Dollar Tree that's
Okay,
on
thank you.
California. You keep referencing it.
It's hard,
as
it's hard to keep track of dollars.
Well, trust me, I just want the people to realize where we're at. So, and I would agree, in and out of there is just terrible, and you've got cars that are just, that back up and wait to enter or to exit. It is terrible, or to even make that turn to go back to the Dollar Tree store. So, I would agree with this. I just want to make sure, if I'm correct, we will have a street going one way, and they will be able to go both ways, north and south, on both of the,
On the
Right.
on the frontage road?
yeah.
On the frontage road, no. We are going to close off the frontage road.
Not the frontage road, I mean, like, to get into Dollar Tree, they'll be able to still pass each other to go north and south, right? Or is it just gonna be, yeah, there would be enough room to do that, correct?
So you're talking about the turn movements off of California into Dollar Tree? So yes, currently, if you're in the northbound outside lane, you will be able to make a right turn into the Dollar Tree. You will then use the turn lane, the middle turn lane, to make, if you're southbound,
Right.
to make a left-hand turn into there. There are no medians out in California.
Right, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about right here, and they go here, Dollar Tree. Oh, they'll go here and go in the parking lot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then when they come here, they'll be able to go north and, or south and north.
On the front, yes, on the frontage
It
road.
won't just be like one way.
No, ma'am. The frontage road is two-way. It's wide enough to handle north and southbound traffic.
Okay. Neil, do you have any questions?
Just one, I think you probably mentioned this already, Braxton, but the city's picking up the tab for this improvement.
Yes, sir, and that's part of the reason that we are objecting to paying $10,000 for an easement, because the city is bearing the cost that we estimate as $130,000 to address a traffic issue that is being caused by the club car wash.
Very good, thank you. No further questions.
I'm just surprised, thank you. I'm just surprised they thought this would even work with the original plan, as busy as California is. But anyway, with that, I'll take a motion from the floor.
Move approval?
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 3B.
That would be Deputy Director of Public Works, Jason Tryon.
So this is an item that doesn't require a resolution, but what's something we wanted to bring before the committee. So in our current firm budget, the last time we spoke to you, we had communicated that we had encumbered all of the funds that we intended to use for the end of the year. We did have some projects that, when bid, came in under budget, so we've had a few more funds that have come available. And we are proposing that we use some of those funds in renovation at City Hall. So in 2 of our areas, the Human Resource Suite and the Probation Suite, when those offices were changed their occupancy to Human Resources and Probation, there were some security concerns that we had, that we didn't have proper doorways and proper access control in those areas. Obviously, they deal with very sensitive information. So what we're proposing is a project to do some security upgrades to those areas, add secure doors with secure access controls. We also have an issue of privacy right now in our probation department, in that they do not have a private area where they can do urine analysis for the individuals that are on probation, and they're having to do that in a public bathroom, which is obviously not something that's preferred. So we would add a private bathroom in the probation area, as well as some access controls to better secure the areas of probation and human resources.
So Jason, will the restroom be in their office then?
That's correct. It would be a private bathroom that would be separated from the public, that they could use and have a little discretion.
Yeah, because I agree, because now walking down City Hall on the second floor, the bathroom's wide open while the lady's watching that. I totally agree. Neil, you have any questions?
I do not, but I will make I guess this is not an action item, just an information item. Thank you.
That's correct.
No further questions.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to 4A, please.
Yeah, Josh McInerney, the Budget Director, will present on this item.
Good morning. So we wanted to talk about a few CIP amendments that could possibly come down the line. And the reason we didn't want to have these as action items today is obviously we're voting on the budget tonight. So we don't want to create any confusion where something happens at the committee level and then other council members don't know about it. This is just, when we vote tonight, this is just strictly kind of an information session, then possible action later down the line. So we're going to start in two parts. So last year we voted to have one of the dreams, or formerly known as SORT, to be cash funded. So that was a $1.5 million expenditure line item in our 2024 budget. What we are proposing to do in the future is switch that to be bonded in the future. And the reason being is that helps soften the blow of general fund operating expenditures and reserve balances for the future. But in return, we would be switching the 2024 traffic signal program and the 2023 infill sidewalk program to be FFE funded, because we've had a built up fund balance in our federal fund exchange money to where we don't have to, and those are currently bonded. So we're swapping those to take the heat off bonding, but also take the heat off the operating budget in terms of cash funded projects. So that's part one. And those are all previously approved CIP projects, and that's just helping soften the future blow. And then obviously, we're talking about 2025 tonight for our 2025 operating budget. Currently, as the budget is presented, we've proposed at this current date to move firm back as a bonded project. And the reason being is that $2.3 million of additional expenditures is obviously a pretty sizable amount to our budget, and we're looking any ways we can to move cash funded projects to be bonded projects. That way we can save current money on the operating general fund. So I'm happy to stand for questions on kind of rationale and why we're doing that. And then I also will say we're having a general obligation bond presentation Thursday at the Policy and Finance Committee meeting. That will answer any questions on, are we bonding too much? How do we look like in the future? How much do we do in the past? So from my perspective, moving firm back to bonds it doesn't have a large impact for the next 5 years in terms of our overall debt for just general bonded projects. So.
Thanks, Josh. Just for folks that are watching this, we're not anywhere near our geo bonding cap, are we?
No, we can do 30% of our total assessed value. I think we're only at like 5 or 6%.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
And this was just FYI, kind of?
Yeah, this was just an FYI. We, depending on the outcome tonight, we'll hopefully eventually come back for these for formal CIP changes at the next Public Works Infrastructure Committee meeting. But again, we didn't want to create any confusion where something happens at the committee level, then there's motions to change what happened at the committee level tonight. We didn't want to, it's just kind of bad timing on our part. But hopefully down the line, we'll come back for formal action items.
You know what Councilwoman Hiller's going to say, right?
Yeah, I can make a good guess.
Okay, thank you.
So Josh, just to clarify, in the budget that you have presented to the governing body, you have already taken these moves into account in terms of what you've presented, correct?
Correct. These moves have already been taken into account, and the only one that would actually really affect 2025 would be the general fund would be the 2025 firm. So yes, these moves are taken to an account.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
Nothing further from us, Madam Chair.
Neil?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Took me longer to get here than to work. Okay. I do have a question. I've asked this question before and was shot down, so I'm going to ask it again. You know, before on 4th and Van Buren, that one-way heading east. I've seen so many car accidents there, people going down the wrong way. And I've asked before, just like how we have now, we have biking on, painted on the ground, and different areas in the city of biking and different signs that are painted on the ground. Why can't we not put it painted on the ground one way with an arrow or something? I'd like to ask that question to see if we can do that.
Okay, well, we will take, you're talking about 4th Street going
East.
east at Van Buren. We will take a look at
If you
that.
start at Topeka Boulevard, I don't know why, but people get so crazy right in there. And sometimes I know when they're going south and they're on Harrison, what's that? Is it Jackson? Those one-way streets, sometimes, for whatever reason, they go back west on 4th Street and are off of Kansas Avenue. They take a right and go back west. And they're zooming, and they've caused a lot of wrecks.
Okay, we will take a look at that specific intersection of 4th and Van Buren. I will tell you that we are holding off. There had been recommendations in a downtown transportation plan for converting many of the one-way streets back into two-way. We put that on hold because I am waiting for the Polk Quincy Viaduct project to be constructed. Because after that project is constructed, it will make material changes in terms of traffic flow in the downtown area. And after the project is done, then we can do a master study in terms of looking at volumes of traffic to see whether those one-way streets are still warranted or not. But last thing I wanted to do was spend a lot of money on a traffic study and implement something that after Polk Quincy Viaduct is in place doesn't work and we need to change it again. So, but I will look at the intersection of 4th and Van Buren to see if it's warranted to add additional pavement markings there, indicating the direction of travel.
Well, as long as it's on your radar, I guess that's fair, but over the years, I've seen people just fly down there and they think they're going the right way. I've bumped into them as far as Tyler, so if you remember that guy that was flying down Tyler that hit that car and killed that little kid. I mean, it happens right in that area from Kansas Avenue, I would say, to, I don't know, maybe Western. It happens all the time. I don't know where people are going. I don't know why they don't know that's not a one-way, but I've just seen a lot of accidents in there. So I just wanted the record to reflect that, and then if we can figure something out. Do you have anything else, Neil? No?
Thank you.
With nothing else, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you.